Instead of adhering to it, Washington argued that the law didn't apply to him because he really was a resident of Virginia. He was only living in Philadelphia because of the presidency. To avoid the law, Washington's wife, Martha, would travel back to Virginia every 6 months with their slaves. Even though doing so was illegal, no one enforced the law. When he passed away, he still owned 300 slaves. I'm Tariq Lowe on the BIN.
His tattoos.
This is America's Black Voice,
the Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News on San Francisco's BIN 910. 7 months into her new job as Alameda County's new district attorney, Pamela Price is under fire. A group has launched an effort to have her recalled and removed from office. A civil rights attorney, Price ran on a platform of reform and transformation of the justice system, particularly for black and brown people, but critics accuse her of being soft on crime. Now one of her former prosecutors is breaking her silence about Price's decision to reduce the charges in one of the Bay Area's most infamous cold cases. She says Price's decision to remove the special circumstances in the case of David Nish, an accused serial killer, undid decades of investigative work that led to his arrest. Now, longtime Alameda prosecutor Colleen McMahon is speaking out to NBC Bay Area, openly criticizing that decision by African-American District Attorney Pamela Price.
I know more about these cases than anyone, probably even to this day. And to not have a discussion with me about the impact that charging decision may have on the future of the case is unthinkable.
The families of the victims are upset too. The family of Michaela Garrett calling the DA's decision unbelievable. Price saying she understands why they feel that way.
Well, I appreciate that they are still, have been held hostage by the system because the case has not been resolved after so many years. What my commitment to them was then and continues to be, and which I have fulfilled, is that we're going to prosecute this case as expeditiously as we can.
Nish remains locked up, charged with several crimes, but Garrett's family, who never recovered her body, wonders if they'll ever get true justice for the little girl who was killed 34 years ago when she was just 9 years old. And a Notre Dame University study says a program in Santa Clara County is preventing homelessness. A professor from the college says one-time financial assistance payments work.
A month or two of rent for them is the thing that's the difference between something really tragic, becoming homeless, and not.
Santa Clara County's program Destination Home San Jose gives away money to families behind on rent or who are about to be homeless. The study says families that receive the financial assistance are likely to become homeless within a half year. The county program helped 14,000 people since it started in 2017. The chief program officer of Destination Home San Jose says with inflation, the amount is about $6,000 to $7,000 per family, but taxpayers will save money in the long run. And one brewery wants to help another one reopen. Foxtail Fermentation Project in San Jose is making their own brew to sell in order to help Anchor Brewery in San Francisco, which recently closed its doors. Foxtail Brewery says their proceeds from their Solidarity Ale will go toward Anchor Brewing reopening efforts. And that's a look at what's going on around the Bay Area. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
Looking for ways to help propel human potential? For over 50 years, SEL has been an innovator in youth education, mentorship, and positive peer pressure. Tap into and support the potential of newfound greatness at SEL-USA.org.
The biggest black news every 30 minutes.
The Black Information Network, Bay Area, BIN 910.
the Bay Area's BIN 910 and on the iHeartRadio app.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard, my own little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
I'm Bill Andrew Quinn.
You are going the wrong way down the street.
One of the first cases of Thurgood Marshall's career is spotlighted in Marshall. Starring Chadwick Boseman as the future first black Supreme Court justice, it's not a conventional biography. As a young NAACP lawyer, Marshall travels to 1940 Connecticut to defend a black chauffeur accused of rape by his white employer. Boseman shows us the promise and potential of a man destined for great things. Co-starring Sterling K. Brown, 2017's Marshall is another essential black film. I'm Bill Andrew Quinn on the Black Information Network. When you need to know.
This is where Black news comes first. The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees.
I'm James C. Harris, and I have something to say. One man came from humble beginnings to attain the top rank in the Baltimore Police Department, and the other man grew up with wealth, privilege, and access to the most powerful people in the world. First man talked about community policing, and the other's father talked about the jungle, and went about criminalizing one rock of crack, sending hundreds of thousands of men to prison for lifetime. Neither man paid their taxes. The first man, Darrell D'Souza, the former Baltimore police commissioner, served a jail time for the same tax crime Hunter Biden was charged with. D'Souza was accused of not paying more than $67,000 in taxes and served 10 months in prison. Hunter Biden is accused of evading more than $2 million in taxes, and he will walk away with nothing more than a slap on the wrist and bills his friends will pay for him. We heard a lot this month about the two-tiered system of justice. During a hearing featuring IRS whistleblowers, the Democrats of the Oversight Committee tried to claim the two-tiered system of justice only applies to black and white. I reject the simplified argument. Not only is it shallow,
really
it provides cover
dangerous.
for people who came from the broken system. A system Joe Biden was instrumental in creating. When
That's
D'Souza
not how
was
you're
asked
supposed
if
to
he felt
drive.
let down by the justice system's
Nope.
standards, he said no.
Very
He said he should have been
dangerous.
held to the same standards as the criminals he was instrumental in locking up. He said he wanted to own up and take responsibility for what he did. His attitude obviously not shared by Hunter or Joe Biden. Should Hunter pay for the sins of his father? No, that is not what we do in this country. But should he and the progeny of the powerful get free passes? No, that is not what we're supposed to do in this country. If we want to keep our republic, I'm James C. Harris with the Black Information Network. You can follow me on Instagram at James C. Harris.
The Black News Journey, every 30 minutes on the Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Doug Davis. Here's what's trending in Alabama. More details are expected soon on Montgomery's river front fight that made national headlines. Mayor Stephen Reed is preparing to hold a news conference on the matter tomorrow. That's what's trending on the Black Information Network. Sports on the Black Information Network.
The top pick from the 2023 NFL Draft is starting in his team's first preseason game. Carolina Panthers head coach Frank Reich confirmed on Sunday that rookie quarterback Bryce Young is starting the preseason opener against the New York Jets. Reich did not commit how many snaps or series the former Alabama signal caller and Heisman Trophy winner would get. The Panthers and Jets will gather for joint practices this week on Wednesday and Thursday at Wofford College in Spartanburg before Saturday's game. Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers is not expected to see any game action. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are taking a chance on a former first-round pick. The team signed wide receiver N'Keal Harry to a one-year deal on Sunday. The 25-year-old was the 32nd overall pick by the Patriots in 2019, but he's been largely unimpressive in the NFL. He appeared in 7 games with the Bears last season, catching 7 passes for 116 yards and a single touchdown. And the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame class has been enshrined in Canton. 9 new members that will be remembered as some of the greatest players and contributors in the game's history had their spot in the hall solidified over the weekend. This year's class included quarterback Rondé Barber, coach Don Coryell, Linebacker Chuck Howley, defensive end Joe Flacco, cornerbacks Terrell Reeves and Ken Riley, offensive tackle Joe Thomas, linebacker Zach Thomas, and defensive end DeMarcus Ware. Reeves and Joe Thomas were the lone first ballot Hall of Famers to be inducted. Sports at 14 at 44 minutes past each hour. Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Bank of America Corporation is proud to be a founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
The history of African American Music Appreciation Month dates back to 1978, when the Black Music Association set out to not just celebrate black music, but to mobilize black economic power. As a result of their actions, in 1979, former President Jimmy Carter would proclaim June National Black Music Month.
The feelings of our own black citizens throughout the history of our country has been actively expressed in June.
While celebrated every June thereafter, Black Music Month didn't become an official observation until 2000. Recognizing the important contributions of black musicians, the commemoration was renamed African American Music Appreciation Month in 2009 by President Barack Obama. In his 2016 proclamation, Obama stated, African American music exemplifies the creative spirit at the heart of American identity and is among the most innovative and powerful art forms the world has ever known. And that's a fact. I'm Winston Tuchel for the Black Information Network.
Entertainment news on the Black Information Network.
I got one night for you, baby. It's all about the Tory Lane's sentencing watch is underway after he was convicted last December of shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion in the feet during an argument in the Hollywood Hills in the summer of 2020. Megan Thee Stallion says Lane offered her $1 million to keep quiet about what happened. Prosecutors are asking for 13 years in state prison. The defense is pushing for probation. Meanwhile, Lizzo is hiring a former Bill Cosby lawyer after being accused of sexual harassment by 3 of her former dancers. To defend her case, Lizzo retained Marty Singer, who's represented Chris Brown, Johnny Depp, and Charlie Sheen in the past. The lawyer posted an audition video from one of the accusers. In the video, she talks about working with Lizzo, saying, "It's been so amazing and such a beautiful journey. I look up to her so much. I just want to follow in her footsteps, and I want to share that with the Queen, Lizzo herself." Lizzo's lawyer told TMZ these do not sound like the words of someone who was harassed or discriminated against by someone they described as the Queen. With the latest entertainment at 17 and 47 minutes past each hour, I'm going to learn on the Black Information Network. Does grace really exist, or did we create it? Listen to the thought-provoking episode of Spin, iHeartRadio's podcast with 23andMe, where they explore how understanding your DNA changes how we think about ourselves and the world. On Tuesday, Thursday, sit down with Wyclef Jean and Professor Alvin Tiller to discuss how people view the connection between genetics and race.
When I integrated my bus stop in New Jersey in 1980, some high school kids decided that they were going to hang me in a tree and kill me at 9 years old. And thank God the bus driver was on time. He cut me down, and I made it. And that's why I do this work every day.
So my dad always told me, don't forget your descendants of 1804, two sons over. So this was like how I was brought up, with a very fearless attitude.
Listen to the full episode of Spin with 23andMe in the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The power of information. Black Media.
I'm Nicole Neal, filling in for John Marshall. And I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. An influencer on Twitch is charged with inciting a riot after recently claiming he was going to give away free stuff at Union Square in New York. It seems like a nice gesture, but Kai Cenat clearly was not prepared for the thousands of people that converged so quickly on the square.
What goes on from here on out, bro, you know what I'm saying? Everybody for themselves. There's a war out there, man.
According to CNN, Cenat has over 15 million followers. Video of the incident shows mostly blacks climbing on vehicles, setting off fire extinguishers, throwing objects, and punching. According to police, at least 65 people were arrested, including Sinet. A white mother gets on a Southwest Airlines plane traveling from California to Denver with her biracial child. According to a recent lawsuit, while they were in the air, a Southwest employee called the Denver police to report Mary McCarthy. The suit alleges the employee suspected the woman of child trafficking for no reason other than the different color of her daughter's skin from her own. The incident happened back in 2021. All of the questions from police resulted in her 10-year-old daughter breaking down in tears. The lawsuit states McCarthy was eventually allowed to leave, but not before this display of blatant racism by Southwest. We move on to two vandalism incidents at the historic Trinity African Methodist Church in Salt Lake City being considered as possible hate crimes. In the past week, a threatening message was left scrawled on a sidewalk in front of the church, and a sign detailing future renovation plans for the church was destroyed. Salt Lake NAACP branch president Janetta Williams has been made aware of the vandalism at the church, and she stressed the importance of the public reporting such crimes. Both incidents are being investigated by Salt Lake City police. Black residents in Gloucester, Mississippi say a wood pellet production plant is polluting their neighborhood. They say the plant emits hazardous pollutants that could cause cancer.
Drax Group is an energy company based out of the UK. Wood pellets are an alternative to fossil fuels. According to NBC News, the locals recently set up a meeting with the company to discuss the noise and air quality, but the company canceled the recent meeting and a previous meeting that was scheduled in June. The plant is located in a predominantly black and low-income area. I'm Natasha Williams on the Black Information Network.
And finally, April Rain is the black woman whose Twitter account is credited with the hashtag OscarsSoWhite. That viral tag is eventually what led to more people of color added to the process of voting for the Oscars. But is Black Twitter going away or moving somewhere else? Well, according to the Washington Post, Black Twitter users are silently moving on to other sites like Still, created by a black man who was fired from Twitter by Elon Musk. One of the reasons blacks are leaving Twitter since the Elon Musk takeover is due to an increased use of the N-word. Twitter is now known as X. I'm Nicole Beal, along with Bree Wood, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
If you see something, say something. Call the Black Information Network at 855-500-9PIN.
Your partner likes to play the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app. Headlines every 30 minutes. Breaking news at once.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
Your money on the Black Information Network.
Is downgrading its U.S. debt rating from the highest AAA rating to AA+. So how does that affect you? Well, economists say the downgraded credit rating the rates on mortgages and credit cards. Several factors were cited for the change, including tax deterioration and the U.S. government while the rating did drop, the new one is still among the highest possible. Fitch is one of three major credit agencies that evaluate ability for companies and countries to repay their debt. Meanwhile, the IRS promises paperless by the year 2025. According to the Treasury Department, the IRS plans to have taxpayers digitally submit all correspondence by the next tax filing season in 2024. The IRS will also digitize the estimated billion historical documents.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
Years. Money news at 24 and 54 minutes past each hour. I'm Nicole Beal on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Trusted, black, new.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Bree Wood. And I'm Nicole Beal, filling in for John Marshall on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. One GOP presidential hopeful says he has always considered former President Trump to be a threat to national security. Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, former Texas Congressman Bill Hurd, who is biracial, said he has never bent the knee to Trump and never will. Hurd also brushed back claims that he was booed off the stage at the Fund, which is a black women-owned fund for other women of color, has been sued by the American Alliance for Equal Rights under the leadership of white conservative activist Edward Bloom. According to Reuters, Blum, who has actively worked to eliminate affirmative action policies in the U.S., said the program was racially discriminatory in awarding $20,000 small business grants to black women, violating the Civil Rights Act of 1866. The Fearless Fund's website notes that only 2.2% of venture capital funding goes to businesses owned by women, and that number decreases for black women to less than 1%. I'm Natasha Williams with the Black Information Network.
A new study shows black women are at a higher risk for preterm births in the U.S. than non-Hispanic white women. The study, published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, shows a higher number of preterm births among black mothers results in major health disparities later in life. According to Health Day in 2019, researchers found roughly 12% of black women had preterm births compared to 7% of white women. Social factors such as income, education, and access to better health care contribute to the disparities, as well as heart issues.
And the Rhode Island Black Heritage Society joined the International Celebration of Emancipation Day at a historic site on Saturday. The celebration was in the God's Little Acre section of the Newport Common Burying Ground, a representation of the thousands of West African people who once lived, worked, and died in colonial Newport. According to the Rhode Island Black Heritage Society, God's Little Acre includes the oldest and largest surviving collection of burial markers of enslaved and free people of African heritage. I'm Bree Wood, along with Nicole Deal, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Now here's Mike Island with your Healthy Minute.
While most parents tend to concentrate on what's going into their youngsters' brains while at school, it may be a good idea to give some thought as to what's going on the kids' backs on the way to and from school. Of course, backpacks are a practical way to carry school books and supplies. They're designed to distribute the weight of the load among some of the body's strongest muscles. According to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, however, improperly used backpacks can bring on severe back, neck, and shoulder pain, as well as posture problems. Children should carry no more than 10 to 20% of their body weight. It's probably a good idea to get a lightweight backpack with 2 wide padded shoulder straps, a padded back, and a waist strap. Remind your kids to always use both shoulder straps and pack only essential items. You can learn more about backpack safety from the experts at the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. Go to AAOS.org. And that's your Healthy Minutes. I'm Mike Island on the Black Information Network.